Oh hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. The goal of my YouTube channel is to make home cooking practical, efficient and creative so that you can make home cooking as part of your daily routine. Because I really think it is absolutely important for you to cook on a regular basis, if not every day, because that's the only way for you to counter the negative effect that's caused by fast and ultra-processed food. And with my fast cooking system, it is possible for you to use these 4 attributes of this cooking system, that is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir fry, and template-based cooking, and that you can create almost infinite variations of dishes, greatly enhance the repertoire of the dishes that you can cook without ever to use recipes. And in this case, steaming is a template. And steaming is a very simple and basic template. Once you understand the process, you can make substitutions and create a huge number of variations. One of the greatest steaming dish is steamed fish. There's one fish that are particularly great for steaming, and this fish is known as swai. The fish came from Vietnam, which is the primary producer of this fish. Now, for a while, this fish was not very popular because people was worried about the conditions that this fish are raised in agriculture. However, this dish is absolutely great for steaming. It's probably one of the best fish to steam. The fish has absolutely no fishy flavor at all. And when you steam them, they taste really great. The meat is flaky. And the way how I do it after I got the fish, which I purchased from Asian grocery store, and you can find them in most Asian grocery store, particularly in Chinese grocery store. The fish come as a fillet that has been fast frozen. After I thaw them out, I will cut them into small chunks. After I cut them, I will store them in the plastic Ziploc bag. And in this case, they actually store really well, and you can freeze them, and they will last for about several months. And when you thaw them out, they are perfect for steaming. And as I said, the fish has a very nice flavor, and it almost has no fishy flavor at all. Now, not all fish steam well. For example, salmon do not steam well at all. Many other fish, such as swordfish, also do not steam well. But this fish is absolutely the best fish used for steaming, and if you have never tried before, you should give it a try. Like I said, if you go to most Asian grocery store, particularly in Chinese grocery store, you will find them, and they are quite reasonable. Now, to cook this dish, the best way is that to use shiitake mushroom. It goes really well with this steamed fish. Now, the shiitake mushroom that I use come as a dry form, so I need to hydrate them first. And after I did that, I will cut them into thin slices. Now, there are many different types of shiitake mushroom that you can purchase. Some of them are smaller and some larger. And sometimes it is interesting that try out different type of dry shiitake mushroom, and they will add a great deal to your dishes. Now, the shiitake mushroom is really convenient because you can store them almost forever, and then you can use them whatever you want. And after you rehydrate them, they have a shelf life up to about 2 weeks. Now, the next ingredient that is great for steamed fish is scallion. Now, the scallion has 2 parts. The green part, which is at the top of the scallion, which I will use in this dish. But I also is going to use the bottom part of the scallion, which I'm going to cut them into thin strips rather than chop them up into little pieces. This scallion at the bottom part will give a much greater onion flavor than the top part of the scallion. And by separating them, you can create different flavor with this scallion. And I'm going to use differently. One is that I'm going to steam it with the fish. The other one I'm going to use as a garnish when the dish is finished. The part of the ingredients that is critical for a steamed fish is the ginger. Ginger plays a significant role. It provides the steamed fish a fresh flavor. And this is the type of flavor that my wife really enjoys. So when it comes to steamed fish, I always have ginger. Now, all the other ingredients that I mentioned earlier is already in my advanced prepping. But the ginger is important that you prep them right before you steam the dish, because this will give the dish the best flavor. So in this case, I cut the ginger into tiny strips. And this is the best way to give flavor to the steamed fish, as well as when you eat the ginger, it will not be too sharp, and it gives you a nice flavor. Okay, now I'm going to assemble the dish. Now, there are no particular way or the best way to assemble the dish, but I develop an approach which I use most often, and because this approach to me that will provide the best flavor. So the first of all is that I'm going to lay a bed of shiitake mushroom at the bottom of the dish. Now, my wife loves shiitake mushroom, so I'm going to use quite a bit of shiitake mushroom for this dish. Now, shiitake mushroom is excellent to pick up flavor from other ingredients in this dish, which is the only mushroom able to achieve this. And then I'm going to lay out the fish. And here I use probably about 8 to 10 ounces of the fish. Now, after I lay out the fish, I'm going to gently, lightly season the dish. And I'm going to season it with my wok with tak basic seasoning mix. Now, this seasoning mix is intended to enhance the natural flavor of the food ingredient, so it will not overwhelm the flavor of the fish. And that is important because you want the fish to come through. And the next part is that I'm also going to add a condiment, which is the fermented black soybean. The fermented black soybean has a unique flavor. It's almost like an enhanced soy flavor. And after this, I'm going to add another layer of shiitake mushroom. And I think by adding the shiitake mushroom over it, it will allow it to absorb more flavor. And then last but not the least, I'm going to add the sliced ginger right over the top of the entire dish. Again, I'm going to use quite a bit of ginger because of my wife's fondness for ginger. I used to not like ginger as much, but after I start cooking for her, I really enjoy ginger much more now than I have ever done before. Last but not the least, I'm going to put the scallion. Now, you know that this is the bottom part of the scallion that I've cut into strips. I'm going to layer that right over the entire dish. Okay, this is how I'm going to set up this dish. Now, of course, you can add some other ingredients as well, but a lot of time this is just right enough. And then, last but not the least, I'm going to add just a touch of soy sauce to provide some flavor. And this will allow the soy sauce to penetrate the food ingredients. So when it finishes steaming, you have a nice flavor. And then I'm going to add about perhaps 1 to 2 tablespoons of Shaoxing cooking wine. This put everything together, and this will create a flavor that I and my wife will enjoy. Okay, now the dish is ready to be steamed. I already have the water boil. This is my Cook Standard 13-inch stainless steel wok. I put a steaming rack at the bottom. I'm going to put the dish on top of the steam rack, and then I put a cover on the wok. I'm going to steam this dish for about 12 minutes under low heat. At 12 minutes later, I open the cover and I test the texture of the steamed fish. You do not want to overcook it, and you want it to be just cooked right. And this is just perfect. Next, I might just add a little bit salt, and this is to give the fish a little bit more flavor. And after that, I'm going to garnish the dish with some scallion. I'm going to use the top part of the scallion for this purpose. A scallion is excellent for this purpose, and it can be used to garnish many different types of dishes. And this is the reason I always have some scallion cut up on hand. And having them, I can use it not only to enhance the flavor of the dish, I also can give it better color. Then I'm going to pour some hot oil right over the dish. And you want the oil really hot. This actually causes the scallion to sizzle, and this gives the scallion great flavor. So as you can see, this is a basic template that in addition to steamed fish, you can steam other seafood as well, such as shrimp or lobster. Both of them we do quite often. I post a video each day to show you different home cooking ideas. And some of these ideas are very simple, and they are based on template rather than recipe. So instead of showing you how to cook a dish with strict guidelines and steps, I want to show you the general principle, and this is a good example of the general principle in steaming. So if you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.